Hey guys, this is review number 2, this time with Ace. This is from a recent regular scrim of his, and we watched all 4 maps in our full review together, but these highlights will be from brown sides of Tantive and brown side of Mustafar. So hopefully it's interesting, hopefully it's helpful to at least someone, and so without further ado, let's kick into it. At this point, he dies. And I think at some point you have another teammate that comes behind you.
Yeah, that guy just spawns an invader too. I didn't see him actually, but he blew his head up too early, so it saved my life.
Yep. Which is just a case of you having your minimap, this part of your thing just showing this corridor a little bit more.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You just turn this line here and then you're fine.
Yeah. And then that det forced me to move to the left. But my det luckily did damage to him, so I gotta kill him. I think.
They still... What I'm curious about is...
This guy could have peeked me.
This one?
No, the guy at the door.
Yeah, you're kind of... Well, you just dodged this shit, and so you're forced to go this way, right?
Yeah.
Because Tantive is so close quarters, you're... I'll compare it to like Mos Eisley because it's really open. On Mos Eisley, unless you're hugging like one of the buildings like this, your areas that you can run to are, you know, almost 360 degrees. You know, like 270 at least in most scenarios. Whereas in Tantive, you know, you can't go this way, you can't go that way, you can't really go this way in this scenario, and so really you have only one direction you can go. And so if this guy's paying attention, or this person is wall peeking you with third person, then he knows you're going to be right here.
Yeah.
But again, these are like super micro things that happen in like a split second. But it's just things to be aware of, that like when you're restricted so drastically by your terrain, inevitably it's going to give your opponent more information than they would have had on a different map.
Yeah.
So he fires. I'm going to have to click it, I guess. Can I? On Twitch? I'll go back 10 seconds. He fires where he threw his det, which is a mistake by him. We're even slower.
I don't worry about that. I don't know what that. I don't know what that was. I think I accidentally reload bug myself, which it means I should have swapped to. No, I didn't. That was a later time.
Where is this? Let's see whose det it was. I think it's the doorway det that comes out. That's your... yeah.
Yeah, it was doorway.
So he actually makes the mistake. He shoots where the det is.
Yeah.
And then and then he panics.
Yeah. He shows it at me, but.
And so after this,
I would have died if I didn't do enough damage, but he was low, so.
So watch what Bester does in the context of what's happening up here in the doorway. They have control. They're about that guy that just died is about to spawn. You can already see 2 of them here in their spawn, and he's actively pushing through the door, trying to fight for it. And it's partially because he's trusting that you're behind him, but it's also just a risk to do so. Especially your Kitty died, so at that point, if Kitty's calling out,
died on the other side of the map, so I rotate.
I think Bester also does, which is a good play by him.
Yeah.
But Kitty should have called out that this person didn't have the flag.
Yeah, I think I assumed they did. But
we're not gonna...
I realize that quickly and I die.
Partially because I don't want to be interrupted by the voices, but partially because I like being able to watch it and see if we can make the same assumptions that you were making in the game.
Yeah.
We just want to make them without the comms, you know, helping us. Ooh. You got a little bit greedy for the shot.
Yeah. I mean, we both shot at the same time from the same range.
More so that if the... I have to go back further, I guess. Rotating over. Slow down. I'll comment on your micro a little bit at some other point.
You rolled to dodge my debt.
He rolled. This is really good crosshair placement by him. The fact that he's able to roll and then immediately have his crosshairs on you.
Yeah.
But this is more of like a micro thing where he's in panic mode from dodging your debt. So maybe this is just like a psychological thing. He knows the debt's coming here. He has to roll to get out of the way. And so in his mind, he's like, I have to get the shot off the second I stop rolling, right?
Yeah.
And so instead of dipping this way, you could just dip this way until his shot comes out and then just blast him.
True. Yeah, rather than just go for the
Here,
RNG shotgun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we already watched this once, so I'll say what happens and I'll say what I think might have served you better in the moment.
Okay.
So you come up, you've eyeballed one. Your team is probably, you see 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see all 4, right?
Yeah.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Basically 1 and 3.
Yeah.
In the hypothetical situation where you kill one of these guys by throwing this debt here, this guy's immediately going to know and he's going to come around here. And then you're going to get pinched from 2 directions.
So you think I should have gone for the guy up top first without him knowing?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if I saw him because he's on the CP.
You definitely didn't see his model, but he did appear on your map. So it just depends on where you were looking.
Yeah. Or maybe I just saw the first person and threw it at him. It was just greedy, like you said.
Yeah, like you were staring at him for a minute.
Yeah, I think I saw.
And you see the debt.
Because I immediately turn and try to debt him.
Yeah, I think you were aware. This looks like the free kill. Like you're being super sneaky. You are getting the flank on, and it technically was a free kill. The problem afterwards is that you were not in a good situation to continue.
Yeah, because if I would have killed the other guy, he would have gotten long spawn, and I would have had the high gun on the last 2 guys.
Yes, exactly.
And there are also 2 guys that my teammates could help me fight, not a 1v1.
I agree.
Okay.
So he dies.
Yeah. I think I almost got him with a cheeky debt, but it stuck to the door.
He actually didn't know. Look, he didn't turn until then.
Yeah, I stuck to the wall. It might have gotten him.
And based on his turn, he definitely didn't know. Until this darky saw you and called you out. Like the speed at which he like turned and then like immediately was at the ready on the map.
Yeah.
So they're just unfortunate. Tank's a full shot. Good.
Tank's a little bit there too, but in the end I get him. Luckily that was close. I don't know why he didn't go for the pistol, but
yeah. Or he most likely jetted to get to that position, and so he didn't have a jet.
Yeah. I thought I was screwed, but I somehow made it out. I'll
say your situational awareness of this second person while you were fighting the Dark Trooper was actually really good.
Yeah, because I remember thinking in my head right here, he's gonna det me from above. After I det him, and then I fail it. I managed to kill him.
But check out when this engineer starts shooting at you and how you move.
Okay.
So you strafe into his line, and then you immediately do everything you can to get out of it, and then the second he dies, you roll even farther out of his line.
Yeah.
So your situational awareness in the moment, you have really sharp instincts when it comes to that stuff. You have quick reflexes, so it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just I think maybe it's just a tiny bit, little bit more about macro decisions rather than micro decisions.
Yeah. Right here, I didn't think I thought it would go behind my teammate, so I could have killed only the guy there. But I didn't even know there's a guy behind him, so it didn't matter anyways.
That decision by both you and your teammate looked like you were just trying to beat the spawn timer, which I think is fine. Like you were in a tough decision.
Ideally, I
tough
should have maybe
situation.
just shotgunned. I should have shotgunned him so my teammate didn't get that rushed. But I had another teammate behind the guy. If you look at the minimap, behind the guy who kills me, and he kills him and scores. So it worked out.
Yeah, works out in the end. So they have control of the flag now. You have one person here you kill. Cool. Now you're turning, and they have two people in. I'm a fucking boomer when it comes to this game, so I don't know all the modern callouts, but they're in this room.
Yeah, we call it circle or O room.
Okay. The situation at hand is that you and two other people are basically pinning them in this room.
Yeah.
For a while. We're talking like a good 5-10 seconds.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of their team?
I gave one long, and then I have no idea where the other guy is.
So at this point, since they're not going to come out,
yeah,
your job isn't to be peeking them every time that you have a shot. Your job is to find the other person.
Yeah, and I think the other person kills me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you do check right there. Yep, you looked once.
But they have darkies and they move fast.
Yep. Again, it's a Tantive exacerbates all of those situational situations.
And that nade, I thought it wouldn't have gone.
There he is. And now you're dead.
Yeah, there he is. And I didn't even see him there either.
Yep.
Even if I did, I don't know. Maybe I would have survived. Probably not.
No. At that point, you were already rolling, and so it was too late to do anything. You're trapped in the animation. So the takeaway from that is, since they're not going to move unless you force them to, you should be finding the person that's going to force you to move, right?
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep. Sometimes you just need a break on your little, you're just on your little gumball machine, just hanging out. Oh, I will say that roll was not ideal.
Yeah, nor was that.
No.
that was bad. Oof.
Have you noticed it's been R-dubs that's killed you from behind like 4 times already?
Yeah.
Like consistently?
I think Villain did once, but everything else has been R-dubs.
Those are kind of things that you can sometimes you'll notice it in game, sometimes you won't. But if you do notice it in game, it means that someone's developed a pattern.
Yeah.
Which you can, if you are, fighting 2 people and you don't see R-dubs, it means he's probably coming behind you at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say you're playing very fast and loose.
What?
You're playing very fast and loose, as it would be termed.
Yeah, which is funny because I said before I think I play too passively, but I think it's just this map I just decided to.
Oh, nice, done. Oh, close.
Oh, I missed that. And then I hit the railing.
It's okay, you one-shot him from Africa.
It's okay.
At that point, a nade is correct, and not your grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Just throwing nades at the door, because you have 3. So anytime you're rolling... Here, I'll go back a little bit further. So the point is that when you're rolling up this, after you kill these 2 people, goal is to get flag up ramp, and no one's on this side because you just checked with your minimap.
Yeah.
And so hopefully at that point you're taking into account this kind of stuff.
And
if you are, that means that you would be reloading already. You're gonna deal with this guy. Farewell. You check. I think you may have saw one person here. Yeah. You see this person spawn. And if your goal is to get the flag up,
I should have naded that door and then...
It's just to spam 3 nades at this door.
Yeah.
While moving this way to fight whoever you may have saw up here.
Sure.
Yeah. Because your goal technically isn't to kill this guy currently. It's just to stop him from stopping your flag. In the end, it didn't matter because someone else killed him. But you couldn't have known that this guy was going to die here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can only play the cards you're dealt. At this point, you're like, I'll do it myself. Because, I mean, why not?
Yeah, but they spawn there, and I'm screwed.
Yeah.
At that point, I just had to like hope they got bad spawns.
Yep. At this point, your current goal is to move up and force a little bit of pressure on their side, but you are currently alone. And so you jump up here to get a little bit of distance from this engineer, and you see a guy on ramp shortly. Yep, there he is. So you throw the det, you back up to get a safer position against this guy, and then you swivel your map and realize you're technically 3 people.
Yeah.
And so at that point, you need to make a decision about what you're going to do. And I would say your decision was these guys.
Yeah. I think I went for those guys. I don't know why.
I think it's this is your mistake.
Yeah.
Going back for these guys is fine, but it should have been in order to then go this way.
Yeah.
Whereas you want
to go back into the other guy.
Correct. Yeah. And then you die for it. And you could have lived, however, you rolled before you swiveled your minimap. If you had turned your minimap, then you would have known which direction you could have rolled, which would have been up the stairs that way.
Yeah.
So it's just about having your minimap before your action, slightly before it. Like you easily could have done something about this guy. It's literally just that you didn't give yourself the information fast enough by turning this little V in the right direction fast enough. But that's an adjustable thing for sure. After this, I'll mention something.
I had 2 in front and 1 behind because my
finish the thought.
Positioning was bad, but my teammate died.
Have you noticed there's a trend of you almost never being next to one of your teammates on this map?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you noticed that you have really only gone to one spot?
The ramp. Yeah.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it may be that your team needed someone there, right? But I could mention the definition of insanity, right? If you ever played Far Cry 3, yeah. If it's the case where in the game you felt like you really needed to control that position in the scenario of what you're feeling in the map, that's totally valid. But after like 3 or 4 times of going to the same spot and dying, you should at least be requesting your team, like someone else, to come with you.
Yeah.
To at least change something in the scenario. I'm gonna keep praising you for it, so that you know that I'm not just pointing out things you're doing wrong. I'm also pointing out things you're doing well. Whether you recognize it or not in the moment, you were strafing into cover, and you were staying there longer than you needed to for you to be able to get another shot off. You know what I mean? Like I was explaining to people in the sub video, because your shots have like a specific amount of time in between them. You could have been peaking at all of these points, but you weren't. You were waiting an extended amount of time, but his assumption would be that you were coming out. And so that kind of stuff is hard to teach. Okay, poke, wait, bye, and see how fast it happens. It all happens within like 2 seconds. Did you dodge like 3 shots? But it wasn't that he missed, it's that you like actively dodged them. So nice then. And it literally wins you the flag, so be happy about it. Well, bye. Sniper it is.
Yeah, 1 minute left. Go hard.
Get a cheeky little something.
Yeah. I think I die here.
Yeah. Shall we see why?
I completely missed. Usually I get a tag at least once, and then I can finish them off, but this was one of my more rough maps.
We're going to go in super slow motion, and we're going to watch
Okay.
minimap for a second.
Okay.
We're going to play this as if you were in game, right?
Okay.
And so we're going to look where you're going to tell me where you're looking the second you change where you're looking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So at the start of this, you're looking at your minimap, I'm assuming, in this scenario in game. Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone directly for it if I didn't think that they're only on the right side of me.
Second you see him on your screen is probably where you're you switch to looking in game, right?
Yeah.
And so you're instinctively rolling. Oh, I have to go back so far because of Twitch. You instinctively have to roll away from this debt, right?
Yeah.
Because you see him and he throws the debt. So in order of operations, you're walking up the ramp, you're staring at your minimap at the same time, right? That's number one. What happens at number 2 is you see the flash here as he appears, and he's already throwing the debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Step 3 is because you saw the debt basically so late in the windup, you instinctively roll somewhere that you know is safe, in which case you roll backwards because you know you're safe back here. Okay? And so where does that leave us at number 4? That's what I'm going to point out. So at number 4, so you actually don't roll, you just strafe out of it.
Yeah. He
throws that debt, and the second he throws it, he knows it's either going to kill you or it's going to force you to go most likely here.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely that he throws the debt and it forces you further up the ramp.
Yeah.
And so that's the entire reason why he feels so confident to just roll here.
Roll out.
Yeah. Is because he knows where you're going to be. He thought you would strafe back out a little bit, but the principle remains that you're kind of screwed. And so
in the moment, something I could have done, but this would have been like super hard for me to recognize if you go back a tiny bit. Right here, yeah, this is good. So I strafed to the right, right, and I should have been. I think I might have, but because I shot mid roll, anticipate him coming out at me, and I didn't think I had enough time. Maybe I could have gone back in mid. That's one option I could have done, but knowing that he was gonna roll and knowing I had a nade, I could have naded the top right pillar and just literally sprinted and jumped up on the platform before. Unless he did an insane 180, he wouldn't have been able to kill me.
That would have been sick.
Like I know it could happen.
Hey, like, if you're gonna try it in a scrim.
Yeah. Cause so I strafe here, and I know I should know he's gonna roll here, and if I sprint now, he won't be able to shoot me mid roll rather than try to shoot him, and I could get a better position than him, rather than just being screwed there.
Yep.
But obviously, that's just
try it next time.
Impossible.
Who knows?
Yeah. If I'm ever in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.